Today's video.
But at the same time, there's y'all who are trying to like virtue signal. Like y'all don't understand why regular, everyday, struggling Americans get upset when they say they don't want people on SNAP benefits. Don't act like you ain't never paid all your bills and had this much money left over to make stretch for your food while you see somebody who looks like a lesser person of you walking through the grocery store, groceries stacked up to here.
A lesser person of you? Like, that's just a very odd thing to say about another human being. It's a very demeaning, dehumanizing thing. It's a very vile thing to say about another human being. Like, how did we get to this point? I mean, I think I know how, like, with the whole colonization and capitalism, there's a way it just makes people lose touch with their humanity. If you're not careful, it's going to suck you in, and you wake up one day just being this.
Groceries stacked up to here.
You know, I told myself I wasn't going to dance to this song again, but if there's anyone who deserves it, it's you.
This society, the world we live in today, as concocted by the white man, very individualistic, very me, I, and myself kind of, like, that's how this was created, this person was seen. And it's very sad. And I'm not saying all of it to take accountability away from him, because, like, you should know better as a human being. I saw a similar situation happen not too long ago. And this particular video was from South Africa.
If you know that you are not a South African citizen, may you please stand up and leave our hospital. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. If you are not a South African citizen, please leave our hospital. You need to go and seek medical attention from a private facility, not here anymore.
We are supporting March in March organization. We have started already here to activate hospitals, and the message is very clear. We don't want foreign nationals, documents, no documents.
This is specifically to the MECs of health and the Minister of Health. Stop threatening us with prison. Stop threatening us with prison. It's either you join us in this fight, not unless niyohlangana nemambe ephuza umhluzi. Good morning, my good doctors. How are you? How are you, my good doctors? Anyone who's not a South African citizen, just because of their this side, please stabilize them. After they've been stabilized, you can discharge them. These people, they have too much privileges to have files in our hospital. It ends here and it ends now. It's a South African public hospital. Anyone who's not a South African citizen here may please be stabilized. After that, they leave our hospital.
I just want to send a big thank you to our Patriotic Alliance team. We've been working well together before we even met each other, and now we get to meet each other and continue the patriotic work that we're doing.
My good doctors, may you please stabilize all the foreign nationals. After they've been stabilized, can you please discharge them? They need to go seek medical attention from a private facility, not here. The Constitution allows that. Immigration Act 13 of 2002, Section 17, it simply states that a foreign national needs to have a medical permit and it needs to go to a private facility. You are a refugee. You came here illegally. They could have directed you to the camp. So they could have, whoever who allowed you to be a refugee here, not unless you bought your document. So whoever who allowed you here.
Whose problem is it? If I'm not South Africa doesn't even have even a single doesn't have a refugee camp.
I'm not in the camp. Okay.
Whose problem is it if I'm not?
Let me answer you then.
Bring the camps I can go to.
Okay.
Which country do you come from?
I'm from Congo.
Congo.
You're from Congo. What is the nearest country to Congo?
if you're seeking refuge in South Africa, because according to foreign policy,
You're supposed
Yes.
to go
you
to
must
Ghana.
migrate to them.
You're
So
supposed
you
to go
cannot
to
come to
Ghana.
South Africa, seek refuge in
supposed
a
to
wrong
go to
country,
South Africa's
and
not the
ask us
nearest.
silly questions, ma'am.
No, the government will
Which
provide.
government?
The government
Which
will provide.
government? Which government you're
My
talking
guy,
about?
let me tell you something. Shh, keep quiet. We don't have time to reason with foreigners. Leave, my guy.
Let's go, ma'am.
No.
Let's go, ma'am.
Shush. Leave. Leave.
Let's go.
We don't reason with foreigners. We don't want the
You ran away from your problems. You came here.
Yeah,
and you about the government. You have your own government. Go vote there.
We are not going to stop. We are not going to tone down the heat. We are going to intensify.
When you get well, when you get off that hospital bed, just know Kuti, next time when you come, when you want services,
There won't be a next
check
time.
up.
There
When
won't
you
be
want
a next
check up,
time.
You must go to a private clinic or a private hospital. When you get well from our hospital bed, do not come back here. Here, we only allow South Africans only. All hospitals, all public hospitals in KZN, all public clinics in KZN are for South Africans only. Do not ever come back here when you get
In
well.
addition to that, my good doctors, after you release these people, you can write them their scripts, but they're not going to use our pharmacy. They must get their medication from private hospitals or from pharmacies, registered pharmacies. No one will get any medication from our hospital if you know that you're not a South African citizen.
The whole of South Africa, it's a crime scene, and we are on the verge of war. It's either the government do the right things, and all the patriots, please, let's fight for our country, because we are on the verge of losing our country.
I guess everything is clear. And my good doctors and good nurses, from now onward, you are not going to see anyone, whether they have asylum permit or whatever. Anyone who does not produce a 13-digit ID that ends with a number that starts with a 08 and another number. You don't see those people. You only see those. But if a person don't have a 13-digit ID that ends with 08 and another number, you don't see that person anymore. The constitution of this country allows that. No foreign national will get medical help from this hospital as of now. If anyone here is a foreigner, please stabilize them and release them out of our hospital. We'll be outside and we are coming to check.
And next time they won't even gain entry. We will be stationed outside.
Every day.
They don't feel like they should be able to access healthcare because they are not citizens, and it's the taxpayers' money that's running the hospitals. And while yes, to an extent, I can understand that, it's the citizens that are paying taxes. I mean, I think some foreigners pay taxes in countries as well, right? I don't know how it works in South Africa, but I know it can sometimes suck when people are reaping where they did not sow. I can understand that. But my thing is, what's happening with our humanity, basically? Because look at this situation. If they could afford to take care of themselves, if they could afford to take care of their healthcare, their medical bill, they would have taken their asses to a private hospital. But they didn't. They went to the public hospital because they cannot afford to pay for medical bills in the in the private hospital. And now you come here and you turn this person who you don't even know how severe whatever it is that they are dealing with is. They could go home and unalive on their bed or slump on their way back, and that's it, they are dead, right? But you look at this person, the ability to be able to look at someone like this that came to a place for help and turn them back, it's just very like, what's happening to the Ubuntu ideology that we used to, as a people, live by? When we as a people get to a point where we are referring to fellow human beings as less people, and we are turning them away from hospitals, I think it's just a sign of how much we have missed the plots. There is supposed to be some, healthy level of sacrificing that we are supposed to be seeing in our society, so that the people that are not where we are at can also live decent lives. But when we find ourselves at a point where we don't think we should sacrifice at all for anybody, It's like a very scary, slippery slope. Like, we all know the saying, no man is an island. That saying exists because we all need each other to be able to survive on this floating rock that we live in. Hence why, even though, yes, I understand that it can feel unfair when you have to be out here in the world busting your behind so you can be able to get things for yourself and for your family, and there are other people out here getting the same things for free. I get it. It can feel unfair. You can feel like you are being cheated. Your feeling is valid. But if you stop thinking about it from an emotional, oh, I'm being cheated point of view, and start thinking about it and looking at it from a humanity point of view, at least for me personally, it stops being unfair. I stop saying it as unfair because I see it as how a community works. Those that are up should help bring those that are down up. And also, when you think about the fact that these benefits that some people are angry about, that some people are getting for free while others are the ones funding it, if these people don't get this benefit anyways, if they don't go to use these resources, the government is going to hold the money. They are going to put that money right back into their pocket in addition to the other monies that they have been stealing from us. So these few outlets that we have that they are at least helping us fund or subsidize to a degree, why don't we let the masses use these outlets as much as they can? Because these outlets has been paid for anyways. Because whether or not these outlets get used, guess what? The government is still going to tax you regardless.
Y'all got on this app saying Cheesecake Factory is not good enough for a date. A coffee date is not good enough for a date. A cluster ring is not good enough of a ring to be proposed to with. Dogging people. To calling men broke for not paying for your hair and your nails. Going crazy. Not all y'all upset about the food stamps. No way.
See, now I haven't seen John Cannon in a while, and so when I seen people on TikTok talking about how he was now John Quinnan, I didn't really pay much mind to it. But that take in specific just made me realize why people call him that shit. Because all John Cannon is good for is giving you the most surface level takes that you think you can ever hear. As I said in one of my last videos, I'm tired of people hearing that EBT is getting shut down and immediately looking at the people that abused it rather than the people that need it. Especially with John, where you start to see that he's bringing up points that are predominantly held in black spaces. Because we all know there was a group of black women that wanted people to pay for their nails, their hair, their everything. And I seen a video not too long ago about how John always goes after black women, and I did not want to believe that shit, bro. But it's almost like he speaks in dog whistles. Because I feel like for years now, we've always talked about food stamps in a sense of, yeah, people abuse it, but at the end of the day, it's a great program, so why would we get rid of it wholeheartedly? But now when push comes to shove, you see a whole lot of people saying, well, now you gotta go buy your food, now you gotta go work, like if people weren't already doing that. But with specifically John's perspective, I like to see how he takes the narrative from single moms are no longer able to afford food for their children to now all the people that were making fun of me can't afford food. And even in both cases, why the fuck do you not want people to eat? Me personally, I don't give a fuck if taxes go to everybody eating, because at the end of the day, food is a human right. And yes, I get it, there are those people out there that will be secretly on EBT while also casting judgment to everybody else about their money in their pocket. But we're not talking about them. I don't see a single person up here saying, oh my god, EBT is getting shut down, now I can't buy Louis and Labubu. No, I see a lot of people up here talking about the fact that they can no longer afford food for their children. I'm seeing a lot of people show humanity where they're saying, yeah, hey, I may be okay, but at the end of the day, a lot of people are not going to be, and that's not okay. But then I see a lot of people coming out and try to stay on the moral high ground where they're like, well, I can afford things for myself, so why can't you? And I feel like that's just the most individualistic take that you can have.
So I just saw another video of someone stitching a John Cannon video about him talking about people with food stamps and how like people are virtue signaling. And it's just like, this is exactly like why the rich stay rich and the rich get to continue to profit off of the back of poor people, because other poor people that are struggling will look at other poor people that are getting help that they don't qualify for, but they're both poor. You're mad that they're poorer than you and qualify for something that you don't get, and you're struggling. They're struggling. I haven't met a single person that gets SNAP benefits that's living a life of luxury. I have not witnessed that. I have not. And I know plenty. I come from a household of a family that had the book of fucking food stamps when they were still paper. I have never seen a person that gets SNAP live a life of luxury. Okay? And to see people that are struggling be jealous of other motherfuckers that are struggling, y'all are weird.
Honestly, the level of hate that the everyday people have for their fellow everyday people, it's crazy to me. How much vim we just seem to have for ourselves, struggling citizens, struggling people, that we don't have for the people who are actually the cause and the source of our problems. It's crazy to me. And I know in the video from South Africa, the one in the hospital, they don't have a problem with their citizens using the free healthcare, right? It's the foreigners that they have a problem with. So a large degree, some of the points that were raised in this video have nothing to do with them because it did not apply, at least in this instance, right? But like for me personally, it's still kind of a problem because whether this person is a foreigner or not is still an everyday person that is struggling and is in need of help that can be rendered, because like I said earlier, this place is already funded by the government, so why don't you just let them access it and get the help that they need? Why do we have to constantly be playing into this divide and conquer situation like we are benefiting anything from it? Like, it's just crazy to me. And it's more crazy because personally, I'm not someone who navigates life with this mindset of citizen versus non-citizen, foreigner versus local, especially when it comes to us Africans. When I see you as a black person, regardless of wherever it is you're located in the world, I see a brother, I see a distant cousin, I see like family. So when I see this whole, oh, you are from this country, and it's crazy to me, especially when you also bring into the conversation this, the fact that we were not even the ones that drew these borders that we have used to cage ourselves in, and we are using to, discriminate and tear ourselves apart. Like, we did not even create this. These are systems that were put together by these people. Why are we upholding this divide and conquer, this hatred, this tribalism? Why are we still doing this to the point where now we are turning ourselves away from healthcare facilities, and some others appease that people who cannot afford food are giving free food? Like, how did we get to this point? What is going on? I don't know. I was probably rambling on here, making no sense at all. But you guys let me know what you think about the situation, though. I'll be catching you in the next one.